What if the whole of Africa were to fight the UK? It is no news how much impact colonialism by the European powers had on Africa. I mean, the continent is still reeling from its devastating consequences. However, there were a few benefits, but the downsides far outweigh the good, and there is still enough resentment in the hearts of its natives at what was done to their forefathers. So, what if the whole of Africa were to fight the UK? Hey guys, welcome to another amazing video from your favorite channel, Splash. Please don't forget to smash the subscribe button and click on the bell to be notified whenever we drop new awesome videos. Let's get right into it. Hold on, before we dive into the main question, we sure do need to answer the question of why Africa would ever think of throwing hands with the UK. Like I said earlier, Africa is still recovering from the impact of colonization on the continent, and there is no saying if it would ever fully recover without much devastation it caused. There is a great digression in the cause of oppression and cultural systems when we compare the pre-colonial era with the era of colonization. Africa was once categorized by kingdoms, empires, dynasties, and states with kings and traditional rulers as the leaders. But with the introduction of colonialism, Africa underwent a complete makeover. The imperialists of Europe viewed Africa as reservoirs of raw materials, labor, and territory for future establishment. Their growth in the continent was quite fast, same as the death of the majority of the continent's culture. The introduction of colonial rule drew arbitrary borders where none had existed before, breaking up indigenous groups and laying the foundation for the creation of numerous states lacking ethnic, linguistic, geographic, or political resemblance. There was a crazy mismatch of natives which saw unrelated people aggregated into a nation and another group of people that were alike divided as a result of the borders. The colonies were exploited for natural resources, and natives were forced to do labor and sometimes enlisted for military conscripts. All these were enough to build a deep resentment in the hearts of the natives towards their colonial masters, and this anger surely didn't die off but kept on growing. So, if the whole of Africa were to join hands to fight the ones who brought so much change and devastation to their continent, how would this really go down? Number 1. Population. With Africa at a massive population of 1 billion plus people and the UK at a 67.8 million, where the margin of error in Africa's population is easily triple the size of the UK, I think the winning skill would go up for the continent. Africa may not be up to military size of the current British armed forces, but should there be a situation where these two ever go to war, Africa would be able to enlist able-bodied men and women to represent the continent. What Africa lacks in experience and technology can be made up for by adequate manpower. Number 2. Gross domestic profit, GDP. To understand what role GDP plays in this fight, we first have to figure out what it really means. So what exactly is GDP? Gross domestic product, GDP, is what provides a country with a snapshot of its economy and basically helps the country estimate the size of their economy and how much growth it recorded over a period of time. In comparing the GDP of both forces, Africa has a $2.58 trillion GDP and the UK records a $2.85 trillion GDP, which is pretty discouraging for the continent as a whole, considering its larger population size. But should the two forces go head to head, Africa should be able to hold its own. Number 3. Military strength. When one thinks of the military in Africa, you think of Egypt, which is currently topping the chart of military strength in the continent, with the country being the strongest in Africa and also ranked 11th on the list of world's most powerful countries according to military size and strength. I guess they'll give the UK a run for their money. But should these two battle it out and the UK ends up being victorious, just how much power will the British military have left to face the rest of the continent? Number 4. Technology. Look up technologically advanced countries and you'd find the UK right up there with the big dogs. It is quite glaring who has the most advantage when it comes to technology, and it is stupid to think Africa would defeat the UK at their own game. But again, considering the number of aircraft and tanks Egypt has, that alone is enough to take down the majority of the UK forces or to weaken them in the list. Let's assume Egypt goes head to head with the UK with full force. They may or may not knock them out, but they definitely knock them down. If this happens, just how long would it take the remaining military power to take out other 53 countries in Africa? Only a miracle would make that possible. I think the answer is quite clear who would win the fight should the whole of Africa fight the UK. That's it for today's video. Give it a big thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications to be notified whenever we post a brand new video. While you're here, check out these other videos that you definitely love.